Gamers, welcome back to the Unverse Podcast. Danny today, and I'm here to talk to you about Anime Los Angeles 2026. So first things first, of course, just want to shout out to ALA for providing us with a press badge to attend the convention. Always super grateful for that, so thank you. What can I say, man? Another year in the books. Great 4 days of just the best anime convention in SoCal. Yeah, no, it was fun, man. It was great to be there again. Again, the Long Beach Convention Center was the best move for this con. Love the location. I went crazy this year. Went with 5 cosplays. Wasn't really planning to do that. I was only going to do 2. Decided on 3. And then, you know what? Like, let's get 2 more in there. Why not? There were going to be some night ones, but yeah, it was just really fun to do it again. I didn't cosplay last year for 25. I did for 24, but that was only 1 cosplay. Really good to be back into the groove of things, see a bunch of friends that I haven't seen since the last con. And just, yeah, seeing like the energy here. It's great. A lot of new people, you can tell. Just nothing but good vibes and just enjoying what this convention provides. I cosplayed Law from One Piece, the Sabaody arc, so pre-time skip. And then I did Law from Tekken 8, specifically his costume 2, which is like his Bruce Lee outfit. And then I did my quote-unquote Lit Wulong, as I call it, Lei Wulong's alternate costume, sort of alternate costume in Tekken 7. If you go to the character creator for that game, Lei Wulong has one unique shirt, which is a Lucky Chloe long sleeve. And this implies that Lei Wulong is a secret fan, I guess, of Lucky Chloe. I saw it on an Instagram post many years ago. The last time I wore it was actually ALA before the pandemic hit. So it was fun to bring that back out for the party times. And then I cosplayed as Guangnam from Helper, aka Kilberos. That is the webtoon I talked about sometime last year. Super awesome. I was like, no, I want to do something out there, and that was the pick. And fun enough, at least 1 or 2 people recognized the cosplay, so that was really cool. And then I ended it off with DJ Zura, aka Katsura from Gintama. There's a chapter/episode where he's doing some kind of, I forget if it's a protest or something, because, you know, he's a revolutionary. He decided to try hip-hop, and so he put on, like, this baggy hoodie. He's got the sideways cap, holding a boombox, which I didn't have, and he went by DJ Zura, so I dressed up as that. And again, the last time I wore that was also pre-pandemic ALA. Really, like, true to form to come back. Because, you know, I did miss 1 year, unfortunately, post-pandemic, just because I don't even remember what was going on, but I don't think I could have made it. And then I went just for 1 day, and then it's like, oh, I miss it all 4 days last year, but didn't really, I don't know, just didn't go all out, unfortunately, you know. So this is really me coming back to form for the con. And I just, yeah, the con itch is back, man. Like, I kind of want to go to more. So we'll see. We'll see in future months ahead if, you know, we're going to plan to do any more conventions, me as well as Oscar and Jerry potentially. Yeah, so it was just super fun. Went up to some cosplay meetups, which was great. There was a lot this year that were what you would expect. There was 2 Gintama meetups, which was very surprising. And the turnout for the second one, which was on day 4, was actually nice. You know, it wasn't super crazy or big, but we had just a good amount of people there. And I'm sure there was a lot more the day before because, man, like, there were just waves and waves of cosplayers of every, like, kind of crazy series that I wouldn't expect. I don't know. Like, again, like, a lot of Gintama, a lot of Silent Hill F, which was crazy to see, specifically, like, the bosses and some of the enemies. That was really cool. Man, Gachia Kuda had a cosplay gathering, and I knew there was going to be a big turnout because the anime came out. And I know Gachia Kuda is amazing, and I'm sure the anime is doing great too, so it's very obvious that, boom, this is going to pop up. And yeah, it was a great turnout. A friend of a friend was hosting that gathering. They did a great job. And, dude, Soul Eater had a huge turnout too. One of my friends was there as Dr. Stein, and he wasn't the only one. There was like at least, I think, 8 or 10 of them there. Huge turnout for that. They also had like the Fire Force people there too, which was fun. A lot of Gundam cosplays too. There were some cool mechs there. There was a lot of Amuros and Chars and Quattros. I mean, it kind of made sense because we had the director for one of the films for, I believe, Double Zeta. This feels a lot more than usual. Like, that's interesting. And man, of course, there was the Clair Obscure Expedition 33 gathering. And of course, it was a huge turnout. It was so cool to see a lot of people there. A few Minokos, surprisingly. A couple SGAs. That was like a huge surprise. Super awesome to see. Yeah, One Piece Gathering was great. Yeah, same normal size as you usually see. Unfortunately, not a lot of variations this time around. Like compared to was it last year? Last year's or 2024, the Gathering, I was just blown away by how many different cosplays there are. A couple of pulls, a couple of unique ones, just wow. And I kind of didn't really feel that this year. It was all like kind of safe and simple. I don't know, there was just so much to do at the convention, and there was 2 gatherings. I didn't go to the second one, unfortunately, so I'm sure there was a good amount there as well. Shout out, there's a really cool cosplayer who did the Going Merry, and she had a little Laboon to carry around too, so that was really fun. And unfortunately, there wasn't like any fighting game gathering or Tekken gathering. There was a Capcom one, which me and my buddy were kind of joking of going just for like Tekken Cross Street Fighter or Cross Tekken. It's like, nah, let's just not go. We'll go to the Tekken tournament, and fun enough, like we found more cosplayers for Tekken, which was great. My friend did King, and we actually saw a few more, which was really cool. We saw a Brian Fury, there was a Lily cosplayer, and one of our buddies later, I think the next day, did Bob, which I was like, oh man, I wish we would have planned this way sooner with us, because then we would have just wore it that day instead of the day before. Yeah, I feel like this year there was a lot more like crazy pulls and like stuff we wouldn't expect to see. Like every turn we were going through Artist Alley, we're like, oh my God, is that a so-and-so cosplay? That's crazy. Or like, oh wow, this is awesome, man. Good job and stuff. Like, yeah, a lot of cool panels this year. Cosplay Wrestling, of course, never disappoints. They had some really fun characters. If you want to check out the stream, I believe they do VODs still on their YouTube channel. If you just look up Cosplay Wrestling Federation, their most recent video came out the week of this recording at YumeCon last year. So just give it some time, get to see it. It's all fun, just the character writing's great. The matchups are always fun to see. We were very interested, me and my friends, in checking out some workshop panels. There was 2 in particular. There was the workshop specifically for cardboard crafting to make armor or to make some weapons, and we're very curious about that because the fun part about being at a con and cosplaying with everybody is, okay, we got what's the next group? How many groups are we going to do? What are the plans? And cardboard's involved, so we wanted to check that out. And unfortunately, it was capped out, and for a good reason. That's a great panel. A lot of insight to check out there. And yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get to go to that one. There was another one about just workshopping cosplays in general. There was a cool one. I don't think this was here last year, but they had a Gunpla and Chill, I believe was the title of it, where you just show up, they're going to play some lo-fi music, and you're just hanging out with people building Gunpla, which is really cool. And even the best part about it, I didn't get to see what kind of kits they were providing, but if you just walked in early enough, didn't have a kit, they were going to give you one to make. So that's pretty cool. I'm assuming it was going to be like some high grades or something, like nothing too crazy. It's only like a couple hour panel. We checked out the swap meet. So I don't think other cons like AX do this, because I don't really remember going to them, but there's another reason why I like ALA is because across the street from the convention center is going to be the Marriott, and they moved the swap meet over there. So you go over there, and it's like another dealer's hall, essentially. It's a way smaller room, so you have to get in line early if you want to get the good stuff. If not, the line takes forever. But yeah, you go in, and it's a bunch of people with like just small tables, and it's just a lot of stuff. It ranges from varying qualities. You can find some really cool stuff like I did and my friends did. Or you just find your normal typical stuff you would see in the dealer's hall or even in like generic like anime stores, I want to say. But it's really cool. They did 2 nights, and usually we only do the first night, but I wanted to go back on night 2 because the first night there was a good portion that was just empty. Like the people that were going to be there weren't there yet. But yeah, I found some cool stuff. I found Macross Zero on DVD for a decent price. I mentioned it on the podcast last year. Sailor Moon's American novel adaptations, which is based off the original English dub. And sure enough, one of the little booths here at the swap meet had 2 more volumes, so I had to pick those up. It's just something that we always look forward to because it's like, yeah, like I love the dealer's hall. The artist alley is great too, but you're never going to find some crazy stuff like you are here. So even though like we got there a little bit late and the line was kind of long, it was worth it. So one booth at the dealer's hall that we want to shout out, they also had a panel where they announced what they're going to be doing next for their future projects. It's Media OCD. One of my friends saw this place at a different convention, and we were talking to them for a little bit here. These guys are cool. They're here to do what we all want to do. Bring stuff back into circulation for physical media, get it in the right quality it deserves. They basically go and try to find licenses for old anime that are up for grabs. A lot of the times, they're able to get the original scans and stuff for these movies, for anime series, to the point where when it comes out on Blu-ray on their site, it's actually going to be in better quality than the original run, which is crazy. Like it's an even higher quality than what they have in Japan because they were able to just get like specific stuff by contacting these people for the license. So that's really awesome. Like right now, if you go to their website, they have some Lupin the Third stuff going on. They were selling some Bubblegum Crisis stuff, Megazone 23 movie trilogy. Yeah, really cool guys. And the people that were at the booth as well as running the panel, those are the guys. So it was really cool just being there and talking to them and just hearing the passion, hearing like what they want to do. And it's great. And it was funny too, because we were talking to them the day before their panel. In the back of my head, I was thinking like, oh yeah, like these are straight from Japan, right? So there's no English dubs for these because they never really came out here before. And I was thinking, yeah, I wonder if they're ever thinking about doing an English dub. And sure enough, at the panel, that's what they announced, that they're going to be working on some English dubs. They're going to be hiring some VAs, and they're going to start small. They're going to work with like one series at a time, basically. Really glad to see that there's people out there that have this passion to like really bring stuff out there. It reminds me of last year's Swap Meet. I found Worst, the delinquent manga, the sequel to Crows. And that was translated in English. I was thinking, there's no way this is here because how is this being translated? How is this here? And it's from like this publishing company out here that get licenses for a manga that they pretty much want to translate and bring over here. So that was really cool to see. Artist Alley was great this year. They had a little Monster Hunter booth in the back corner, which was cool. It was basically acting as the campsite, and you could do missions and stuff to collect ribbons and all that, so that was really fun. The dealer's hall was what you would expect from the dealer's hall. That's pretty much the gist of what we were doing during the daytime at the con, checking everything out. Now, nighttime. Let's talk about the party side of this convention, the reason why everyone goes. One of the reasons why this is my favorite convention. Parties were here. Like I said earlier, it's called Island Con now, and I was trying to think, like, why is it called that? Like, we're only next to the convention center. And my friend said, oh, well, because, across the street you could see islands, so we're calling it Island Con. It's like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. But still, like I said before with Fountain Con, we just party outside. Yeah, a friend of a friend brought their DJ set, people were hanging out and chilling. There was like 2 areas, just like last year, towards like the front by registration, and then all the way in the back next to the Hyatt. And then Saturday night, of course, was the Cosplay Deviants rave. So we checked that out, and it was fun. It was cool to go back in there and just jam out and stuff. The music was pretty good this time around. We didn't really stick around the whole night, though. We were just going in a circle, man. It was crazy. Just rave. Let's go outside. Let's go to the Hyatt. Let's go back in. This, and that. And just really exploring everything. And my only complaint for the Cosplay Deviants rave, like, to quote one Joey Valence and Bray, nobody wants to dance anymore. I was very hyped up going around, seeing all the small circles here and there. But then everyone else, I'm like, man, come on, guys. Like, we're in here. This is the time to party. Like, let's party it up. You know, everyone's doing their best up here on stage. We gotta match that energy. So that's what I kept doing and going around and around. And then funny enough, you know, you go outside and it's almost more jamming than inside, which was crazy. But yeah, super fun still. Like, you know, again, nothing crazy happened. Everything was pretty lax, pretty fun. And that's what we just want to hear, because, you know, there have been years at this convention where outside stuff has gone array and stuff was not okay, like pretty crazy stuff. So glad to see everyone was safe and that we all had a good time. After this long spiel, what am I saying, guys? This is a con you have to experience. And it's funny, I was talking to a friend when I came back home, and they're like, maybe I'll go for one day. And I said, hey, man, you know, this is actually 10 years ago. 2016 was, I believe, the first time we went. Yeah, guys, 2016, Anime Los Angeles. I think this was the first year I went to the Ontario Convention Center, actually. Me and Grant went for one day on Saturday, which in hindsight, it's actually crazy we picked that day, because that is the day to go. If you want to experience everything, both like daytime stuff at the con and then all the party stuff at night, it's crazy that we were able to do that. I was telling my friend, look, you're gonna go for one day, you're gonna hang out, check everything, and then immediately you're gonna go, man, I should have went all 4 days. I think, you know, if you don't want to really jump in for a whole weekend, definitely go 2 days. I forget how the ticket sales work, because I know there's the 1 day passes, 4 day passes. Pretty sure there's 2 day passes. I just don't remember which days they are, but you know, even then, like, if you don't want to go all 4 days, but you do want to go like Saturday or Friday, Saturday, if you get it early enough or you get it on Black Friday, the 4 day pass is still worth it, because that's another great thing about this convention, is that it's very cheap. You know, not to mention other big anime conventions, but I will say, you know, once a certain con got rid of VIP passes and you just see the huge bump in prices for the 4 day pass to help compensate for that, yeah, it's less enticing to go, you know, especially if you don't get it as soon as the badges are up, which I think they are now. You know, even walking up day of to get a badge, the price is still worth it, in my opinion, for ALA. It's not going to hurt your pocket too much, and what you're going to experience for that price, absolutely worth it. Cannot wait to be there for 2027. The days are already posted up, so you know we got to lock it in. Talking to my coworker about it, and he's like, oh, did they post the dates already? I was like, oh yeah, it was in the back of the book. He's like, oh, okay. And we looked at it, he's like, yep, already requested days off. It's like, that's the kind of attitude you want to hear. So with that, we are going to wrap up this episode. Again, thank you for listening, and thank you for Anime Los Angeles for providing a badge. And we hope that we can come back next year as well and experience it. Hopefully more than just me. Jerry did go for 1 day. I think he mentioned it in one of our chats, like, damn, I'm going to have to go for the whole weekend next time. I'm like, yeah, dude, like, we used to go all the time, man. Like, it's time to come back. So that's it, guys. Again, thank you for listening. If you have any questions or comments, did you go to ALA? What was your experience? I would love to hear some thoughts. You can send us an email at unversepodcast@gmail.com, as well as comment anywhere on our social media, YouTube. We'll be sure to look at those, bring them up on future episodes, and we'll catch you on the next episode.